The fog between wanting and knowing. There's a particular kind of confusion that hurts more than being lost. It's when you don't know what you want. It's when you do something, but you can't explain why, or where it fits, or whether you're allowed to want it at all. Alex told me earlier tonight the tavern settled itself along a narrow street near Charles Bridge in Prague. He said the fog came in low and slow, like the city itself was thinking something over. That feels right, because tonight's story lives in the space between wanting and knowing. That quiet fog where nothing feels wrong, but nothing feels right either. Before we begin, let me ask you this. If you've been standing at the edge of a decision you can't name, leave a quiet word in the comments. It helps the tavern find others who are waiting in the same fog. Now then, welcome to the Lion's Tavern, my friend. Sit. You don't need to have answers tonight. She didn't rush inside. She stood in the doorway for a moment, watching the candlelight breathe, as if deciding whether this place was allowed to see her uncertainty. When she finally sat at the bar, she didn't order anything. She just said, "I feel like I want something, but I don't know what it is." That sentence carries more weight than people realize. I studied her, not with judgment, but recognition. "How long have you felt this way?" She shrugged. "Long enough that I'm starting to wonder if something's wrong with me." Ah. Outside, Prague's fog pressed against the windows, blurring the lamps into soft halos. Inside, the tavern did what it always does, slowed time just enough for honesty to catch up. She spoke about a life that looked fine from the outside. Work, relationships, routine. Nothing broken, nothing dramatic. And yet, I keep waiting to feel aligned, but everything feels slightly off. I nodded slowly. Sometimes confusion isn't the absence of desire, it's the desire that hasn't learned its name yet. She blinked at that, and so gently I began a story. Halfway through the tale, a story about a traveler following a compass that spun instead of pointed, I stopped because she wasn't listening anymore. Her gaze had dropped to the bar, fingers tracing invisible lines. "Hey," I said. She looked up. "You're not lost in the story. You're lost in yourself." Her voice cracked just slightly. "I'm scared that if I choose wrong, I'll waste my life." So I leaned forward with a low, steady voice. "Let me tell you something most people don't learn until much later." She listened. "Confusion isn't a warning sign. It's a transition state." She frowned. "You're not stuck. You're just between versions of yourself. And the fog exists to slow you down so you don't become someone out of habit." She exhaled long and shaky. "Stay with me. Let's finish the story." She nodded, and we returned to it, differently this time. The traveler stopped asking the compass where to go and started asking herself how she felt when she walked. In the story, she noticed something strange. Some paths made her shoulders tense. Others made her breathe deeper, even if they led nowhere obvious. The fog didn't lift, but it thinned. Back in the tavern, the woman across from me softened, as if understanding had settled in. You don't need clarity to take the next step, I told her. You just need honesty. She whispered, so wanting something isn't selfish, even if I don't understand it yet? I smiled. Wanting is information. Knowing comes later. Outside, footsteps echoed across the stone bridges. Inside, she sat a little straighter. The story ended not with a destination, but with movement. The traveler walked, slowly, deliberately, guided not by certainty, but by resonance. I turned back to the woman in front of me. You don't have to explain your longing to anyone. You just have to stop ignoring it. Tears welled, not from sadness, but from relief. I thought confusion meant I was failing. I shook my head gently. It means you're becoming. Outside, the fog didn't disappear, but it no longer felt suffocating. My friend, if you're standing in that fog tonight, wanting something you can't define, let this be your permission to pause without self-judgment. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need certainty. You don't even need confidence. You just need to keep listening. The tavern will appear again when the path feels unclear, but until then, trust that confusion is not the end of the road, it's the threshold.